the Supreme Court has ruled on a 6-3 basis that President Trump exceeded his authority under the International Emergencies Economic Powers Act, IEPA, by imposing sweeping tariffs, invalidating most of his second-term trade measures. So, in a 6-3 opinion decision, I'm not really sure, they have struck down part of the tariffs that the Trump administration was trying to put out. So, some of the blanket tariffs that they had have basically been struck down because the Supreme Court ruled that Trump doesn't actually have the authority to do that. Just because the wording doesn't say that he has the fucking authority to do that, which is crazy, but whatever. He can still like impose tariffs, but it has to be on an individual basis, I think, and it has to be like for a reason. Anyway, so implications, economic impact. The ruling could affect over $175 billion in U.S. tariff revenue, as companies may seek refunds for duties already paid. You are not getting a refund, guy. That is not happening. Major corporations like Costco, Crocs, and Revlon. No one gives a fuck about Crocs. Are you kidding me? The only reason they're a big company is because the movie, what's it called? Oh, I don't remember the name of the fucking movie. Oh my god. He goes in the future and everybody's retarded because the only people that were having kids were the hillbillies, and all the smart people like weren't fucking having children. And so the people that were trying to make the movie, Idiocracy. Thank you. All right. Oh god, it was on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, the people that were making Idiocracy intentionally looked to try and find the stupidest fucking shoe that they could, and what they found was this small company called, like, well, it might not have been Crocs exactly, but this company that had shoes that looked a lot like Crocs. And so what they did was they fucking used those shoes in the movie, and because of that movie, they're huge now. All right. Let's see. More implications. Yeah, they're not getting that fucking money back. Trade and policy. This decision limits the president's ability to unilaterally impose tariffs under emergency powers, but does not prevent tariffs use under other trade authorities. Trump may attempt to reimpose duties using different statutory powers, like I just said. Background, the case arose in Trump's use of IEPA and global yada 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 yada. Anyway, aimed toward China, Canada, Mexico, citing trade deficits and drug trafficking, national security threats, lower courts, blah, 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 blah. All right, so anyway, Supreme Court came out. They don't all agree on this, but it seems to me like the majority of them agree that the verbiage is not necessarily there to give Trump the ability to do this, be it the spirit of it or whatever. It doesn't really fucking matter. I'm fine with it because I know that the Democrats are going to pose this as, like, for example, we're just going to fucking read off of here. Supreme Court ruling against Trump tariffs will offer relief, businesses say. Oh, we're finally relieved from the Trump economic tyranny. Oh. Trump says he signed a 10% global tariff after Supreme Court decision. Apparently, this is a speech Trump gave at the White House immediately after the Supreme Court ruling, and this is his reaction to them saying, hey, listen, guy, it doesn't necessarily say that you can do that specific thing under this specific action. The rest of that's fine, but, like, this isn't.
Wow. Got a lot of people. That's a new record. We set a record every time.
Records for days.
Well, thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome, President Trump.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing.
I know. I'm going to cry, too.
And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
Yes,
I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices
Hey, they agreed with you on birthright citizenship, which we'll get into later.
Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy
They're so happy.
And they're dancing in the streets.
I love watching this guy's fucking press conferences, man.
But they won't
He says the most off-the-wall shit.
be dancing for long. That I can assure you.
They won't be dancing for long, I can assure you. We're warming up the iron shoes now.
The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation.
Damn right, disgrace. Hell yeah.
Those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a
I'm waiting for the military tribunals. Fuck yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna cancel for that one.
You can't knock their loyalty. It's one thing you can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution.
Oh goddamn! All right, just tell it like it is, man.
It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than
Lock him up, bring him to the guillotine, public square.
people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide. With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it, but we still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. They're very loud. And I think certain justices are afraid of that. They don't want to do the right thing. They're afraid of it. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security, and also, I would say, just for our country itself, so important, because we're doing so well as a country.
We were doing a great job. We are doing a great job. But you know, people are going to try and politicize this, even though it really isn't that big of a deal.
We've done so well. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and authorities, as recognized by the entire court in this terrible decision, and also as recognized by Congress, which they refer to, that are even stronger.
Yeah, can we get voter ID, please? I mean, I know Congress passed it basically along party lines because the Democratic fucking base is made up of illegal immigrants that they all imported during their 10 years as fucking presidents. Anyway, so can we fucking get voter ID, please? Can we pass the SAVE Act for the love of fucking God? Like, it is not Jim Crow 2.0. We need to get this done. You need to have an ID for fucking everything in this country. Why shouldn't you have to have an ID to vote?
Longer than the IEPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do, and it's very important, I wanted to be very well behaved because I wanted to do anything.
See that? You heard it right from Trump's mouth. He's a good boy.
I didn't want to do anything that would affect.
Oh, God, imagine Melania just fucking walking him around the house with like a leash and shit on.
Decision of the court. Because I understand the court. I understand how they are very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy.
He's a good boy.
I have very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again.
He's a good boy. Yes, he is.
Our stock market has just recently broken 50,000 on the Dow. And simultaneously, and even more amazingly, broken 7,000 on the S&P. Two numbers that everybody thought upon our landslide election.
Yeah, months ago I told people to invest in the American economy. I'm not a financial analyst or a financial advisor of any kind, so definitely don't take my advice about that, but definitely invest in the American economy right now.
Victory could not be attained. Think of that. Nobody thought it was possible to do it within 4 years, and we did it in 1 year. They said you'll never be able, you'll go back and you read the geniuses, read their statements, all of the Nobel Prize winners in economics. They said, no, you couldn't do it in 4 years. Well,
Nobel Prize is just like the Pulitzer at this point, man. It's just a fucking popularity contest. They're going to give it to whoever they like most.
we didn't do it in 4 years. We did it in 1 year. We broke every record in the book, and we're continuing to do so.
Yeah, we
Tariffs
did.
have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled. I settled 8 wars, whether you like it or not, including India, Pakistan, big ones, nuclear, could have been nuclear.
Could have been nuclear, but it wasn't because Trump stopped the war because he's the goodest of boys.
Prime Minister of Pakistan said
Setting all the records, like which president has the longest cock.
yesterday at the great meeting that we had,
It's Trump, him and his gold member.
the Peace Board. He said yesterday that President Trump could have saved 35 million lives by getting us to stop fighting. They were getting ready to do some bad things. But they've given us great national security, these tariffs have. And together with our strong borders, reduced fentanyl coming into our country by 30%. When I use them as a penalty against countries illegally sending this poison into our country to poison our youth. All of those tariffs remain. They all remain. I don't know if you know that or not. They all remain. We're still getting them, and we will after the decision. I guess there's nobody left to appeal to. But again, those 3 people, such respect. I've had a lot of respect for them anyway, but
Yeah, nobody's getting their money back, and we're gonna keep tariffing you.
such great respect. But other alternatives.
Is this gonna be the point when people realize that the U.S. Supreme Court has no real enforcement power,
will now be
and they rely on the executive branch to do that?
used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected. We have alternatives.
We're getting really close to like fucking military tribunals, man.
Great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money, and we'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so. To show you how ridiculous the opinion is, however, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1. I can't charge $1. Can't charge $1. I would have used 1 penny, but we don't make the pennies anymore. We save money.
That's true. Pennies were worthless, and I'm gonna be honest, they fucking were. People were leaving them on the street.
Can't charge $1 to any country under IEPA. Not $1.
Only under that. Everything else is totally fine.
I assume to protect other countries. This must
I
have
feel like I need to keep reiterating that because it's going to get drilled into people's heads that Trump lost the tariff war, and he fucking did not.
been done to protect those other countries. Certainly not the United States of America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1.
Not under IEPA, sir. No, you can't. That is a stretch too far, you authoritarian man, you.
Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little
How dare you try and fix the country? What is wrong with you? You're only the president. Get in your lane.
2-cent fee. But I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that. It's incorrect. Their decision's incorrect. But it doesn't matter because we have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision. You know, they've been approved by the decision.
Yes, they have.
For those that thought they had us. And they're saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. So think of that. I have the right to license, which is a very powerful word. In many ways, license is more powerful than tariffs. In fact, I was thinking about using it. But they came up with the idea that I can license, just like the people that were opposing me told them to do, but not the right to charge a license fee. Think of that. Who ever heard of such a thing? What license has ever been issued without the right?
What are we even talking about? Is he just going off the rails now and
charge a
just
fee.
like listing fucking examples of what this is
You
like?
get a license, you charge a fee. It's automatic, but not with this court. But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, to destroy foreign countries.
Good.
But a much more powerful right than many people ever thought we even had.
Look, he was even standing smugly, too. Like, dude, fuck. He's like, this is not a loss, guys.
But not the right to charge a fee. How crazy is that? Our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world.
They told me that I don't have the right to do this very minor thing, so I'm going to do all these crazy things that I didn't want to do. I wanted to do the minor thing.
Right now.
Now I have to resort to more drastic measures because you said I could.
Now. And it was a dead country 1.5 years ago under an incompetent president. But now I'm going to go in a different direction, probably the direction that I should have gone the first time, but I read the language. I'm very good at reading language, and it read our way 100%, but now I'll go the way I could have gone originally, which is even stronger than our original choice. As Justice Kavanaugh, whose stock has gone so up, you have to see, I'm so proud of him, wrote in his dissent.
Yeah,
Although
okay.
I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward.
Like, listen, I don't agree, but also this does nothing at all to restrain the president. We're just saying the verbiage is not there for this particular like part.
So, think of that. The decision might not substantially constrain. And it doesn't, he's right. In fact, I can charge much more than I was charging. I'm going to just start. Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That's because numerous other federal statutes, which is so true, authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Even more tariffs, actually. Those statutes include, think of that, those statutes include, for example, the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, Section 232.
What is that?
All of these things I know so well.
I refuse to believe that you know anything at all about that, Trump.
The Trade Act of 1974, Section...
Listen, I'm a Trump supporter, but damn, come on.
Sections 122, 201, 301. And the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 338, all clear. But it's a little bit longer process. I thought I'd make things simple, but they didn't let us do that. I would like to thank Justice Kavanaugh for frankly, his genius and his great ability. Very proud of that appointment. In actuality, while I am sure that they did not mean to do so, the Supreme Court's decision today made a president's ability to both regulate trade and impose tariffs more powerful and more crystal clear.
All right, so this is a W then. Got it. All right, cool.
Less. I don't think they meant that.
Golden Man says it's a W. All right. Everybody pack it up. We're leaving.
I'm sure they didn't. It's terrible. And to think that the Democrats who oppose this only because they want to go the opposite way, they'd like to pack the court. They want to put on 21 people. They want to pack the court, pack the Supreme.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's arguable at all that the Democrats want to pack the Supreme Court. Do you see what they fucking did in Virginia? Like, they're going to do a whole redistricting thing, and they're going to get rid of, like, 5 fucking Republican seats.
Supreme Court, maybe they should do it. Maybe they would be better off if they did it.
The Virginia Supreme Court let the legislature do this, and the Virginia legislature is going to get rid of basically all Republican representation within their state house.
They want to pack the court. They want to do anything to hurt our country. There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our companies and country will actually increase because of this decision. I don't think the court meant that, but it's the way it is. based on long-standing law and hundreds of victories, and even, as I was pointed out before, even thousands of victories.
God, it's like the Supreme Court said this, and then Trump went, "Oh, okay, all right, we're just gonna go directly, like it's gonna be word for word. Then we're gonna go exact verbiage from the book. Okay, all right, fine, whatever, fine. We'll use your own game against you. All right, the exact verbiage says that I'm allowed to do X, Y, Z."
Over the years, to the contrary, the Supreme Court did not overrule tariffs.
Please give me the Trump that the leftists have made up in their delusional minds. I would love for that to happen. Thank you.
They merely overruled a particular use of IEEPA tariffs. And essentially, it's the use to get a fee. I can do anything I want with IEEPA. Anything. I just can't charge anybody for it. I can license, I just can't charge.
Make the process the punishment, like they've been doing to you for years. Make the process the punishment.
It's ridiculous, but it's okay because we have other ways, numerous other ways. The ability to block, embargo, restrict, license, or impose any other condition on a foreign country's ability to conduct trade with the United States under IEEPA has been fully confirmed by this decision. So now there's no doubt, because, there were a lot of questions about tariffs because no president was smart enough to use them to protect our country from those countries and businesses that were ripping us off. You took a look at the deficits that we had with some of these countries. It was disgraceful what they got away with for many, many decades. But now we know, because this decision affirms all those things that some people weren't sure about. In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period.
Oh, he's going to increase the tariffs.
Period of a year under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes.
Call me crazy, but I feel like the head of the executive branch has every right to dictate the executive processes we use.
Of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect.
Good, absolutely.
Today I will sign an order to...
Sure, they can strike down whatever they want to. All of the rest of my tariffs stay in effect, and I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that.
Impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariff.
Ha! Exact verbiage says I'm allowed to do it this way. Fuck you, Supreme Court.
It's already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and
thank you for your attention to this matter.
I say quite simply, which I've said for a long time,
Democrats are evil.
Make America great again.
Well, basically the same thing.
Interestingly, we've already made it great, so I don't have to use that, but I don't think we'll ever give up on MAGA. MAGA's always going to be with us.
Hell yeah, MAGA, make America great again. Well, he's really trying, and they're doing everything that they can to fucking stop this man from doing that. All of the links for all of my things and all of the videos will be posted in my descriptions. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're watching the videos. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.